Hey guys, welcome back. Happy 2019. Oh my God. Happy New Year. Hopefully you guys had an amazing holiday. Lots of really fun creative stuff that I'm planning on doing this year. But in this video, I thought I'd do things a little bit differently. I wanted to talk about how I found freelance work as a freelancer. So if you've been watching some of my past videos in this channel, you'll know that I've freelanced for so many years and at some point also owned my own business, used to work from home, used to have clients, and I used to just full-time freelance. So my career as a designer and illustrator, most of my career has been freelance for the last 12 years. And so, you know, my journey started off in 2006. So if you guys didn't know, I'm actually from San Diego, grew up there, went to school there, had my baby there, freelanced and worked for a bunch of companies in San Diego until I decided to kind of switch routes and move to San Francisco. That was about in 2009 when I decided I wanted to go back to school, and I thought I was gonna go and study illustration, but I ended up switching my major to 2D animation, visual development, and so, but yeah. Anyway, so from there, moved to New York, was there for 2 years, working as a graphic designer, and then I came back to LA, was in LA for, I would say, 2.5, 3 years maybe, freelancing as a graphic designer and illustrator. So I've had a lot of different jobs, different kinds of positions and companies. I've worked with a lot of small businesses too. I've worked with, you know, small marketing agencies as well in San Diego and LA. And I've also worked with a lot of like smaller startups as well in San Francisco. And then I would say at about the end of 2017, after I, you know, left Salesforce, I was contracting there as a designer and illustrator, and so, and then also taught at the Academy of Art for a few semesters between 2016 and 2017. So just to kind of like give you an overall like perspective, you know, and I've come full circle really, and now I'm a creative recruiter at Creative Circle. So funny. But yeah, it's been a journey for me, and I think I have a lot of insight when it comes to freelancing, and also and it carries over, like my experience kind of, you know, carries over to what I do on a day-to-day basis, talking to candidates and clients, negotiating, and, you know, helping, you know, designers and creative people get placed in like different kinds of jobs, you know, is really where I feel like my true calling is. You know, at the end of 2017 and also kind of partly 2018, after I've been freelancing with clients and then also kind of got burnt out, and I just didn't feel like, you know, my time was spent being creative. I didn't like the fact that I was giving it up to clients and doing creative work for them, and it wasn't something I really enjoyed doing anymore. And so it's really interesting that, you know, sometimes still freelance, but not really. So I feel like the true passion I've found is, you know, creating design tutorials on YouTube, creating really fun Photoshop brushes, tie-dye stuff, tie-dye patterns, as you can see from my other videos here on this channel. So anyway, sorry to go into this big like tailspin, a long-winded speech, but I do want to talk about how I found freelance work, and hopefully this will give you some insight into how you can go out there and start looking for work on your own. You know, I always tell people that your network is so gold, like literally, because I remember most of my jobs came from the connections I already had while I was going to design school. I was building my network there of like students that I had gone to school with and who I still keep in touch with to this day. That was like over 10 years ago or something. I would say like, yeah, close to 12 years ago. You know, I'm from SoCal, so San Diego, LA, I have a lot of connections down there. When I was freelancing in LA, most of my jobs actually came from the connections I had in San Diego. And then when I lived in LA, that was, I would say I lived in LA at the end of 2014 to like the beginning of 2016. And I just went out all the time. I went to networking events. I would go to like meetups. I'd also go to like, you know, life drawing workshops at night when I didn't have any more freelance work to do. And I would often get like recommendations and referrals from friends, from other clients I've worked with in the past. I remember, you know, I had several freelance gigs in LA, so just to kind of give you like a good idea of some of the stuff I've done, one of the freelance work I got was through a friend of mine in San Diego who recommended me to this property management real estate company, but they needed logos to brand some of their, you know, apartment complexes and condos around the US. So I ended up working with them for a few months and ended up like really just working from home for a few months. And then some interview I had gone on for like a storyboard artist or concept artist position. It was freelance. They ended up recommending me. I didn't get the job, but they ended up referring me out to a nonprofit that needed help with concepting ideas for a children's book project. So that I ended up working on. And then another cool project that I worked on while I was in LA is a food truck company approached me. They found my work online somewhere. So I have some of my work on smaller social networking sites, like there's freelance.com. There's also Behance.com, and you know, there's also Coraflot. There's so many different networking sites for artists, I would say, to just kind of upload your work, put your work up there, and you know, have people see it as well. And so I would do that. I would often like create profiles for these different networking sites. So anyways, this company found me online at one of these social networking sites for artists, and they had asked me to create like, you know, their logo and their branding, and they saw that my work was more like creative, and I had more illustration work in my portfolio at that time. I ended up branding their food truck too, so that was like a really fun project for me to work on. Yeah, so you know, one thing led to another. It started with the logo, and then it started with character illustration, and then it kind of just went into like food truck branding and graphics. So just to summarize this video a little bit, I know I kind of rambled, but I just want to reiterate the fact that your network is so gold. Cherish your connections that you make with people, you know, and keep in touch. You know, all the people that you meet in your life, nurture them, cultivate them, and make sure that, you know, you're up to date with, you know, your other kinds of connections. I still keep in touch with some of my friends that I went to graphic design school with, and then I also have, you know, connections with friends that I've, you know, gone to graduate school with for 2D animation and visual development. Yeah, I, you know, used to go out and do so much networking, and also I would go to these events, and, you know, just to give you an idea, I would check out like Eventbrite. I would also check out meetup.com. There's so many events in your city, and just like network with people, you know, ask questions, learn about the industry, learn what kinds of services people need, you know, for their business, and maybe you can go there and help out with some small stuff that, you know, you can, you know, add in your portfolio and slowly build up your portfolio over time. And so it's, sometimes it really is who you know and how you nurture those relationships. Also, if you're getting business referrals from repeat clients that you've worked with and did a good job on, they're more likely to refer you out to their network and people they know that might need your services. So, and I know like everybody is kind of isolated now. You know, everything is so digital. Everybody works from home now. And if you're one of those people who does work from home and you freelance from home and you have like a good steady income doing that, that's amazing. But at the same time, I would also get out there and check out some local events, go to a bar, go to like something fun, or like something completely different that you haven't thought of doing before. So, and keep in touch. And when you're going to these professional networking events, have a business card. Make sure it's your name, your portfolio link, email, and phone number if you want to. And I know people get really, it's hard to just give your information out there, but you know, only give your cards to people you think might be a potential, you know, and learning to read people too, especially if you can kind of tell when people are there genuinely being nice to you or not, or just maybe don't want to give you the time of the day. Like, you can really feel that out in social situations. So yeah, hopefully I've you know, shed some light on how to freelance, how I got freelance work, and hopefully you can look to your own network and, you know, ask around, see who knows who, you know, if they have any referrals that they can give you. And yeah, hopefully, you know, you have great success networking with people out there. And if you have questions, you know, feel free to let me know. I will post links below this video to some of the sites that I've talked about. And yeah, feel free to, you know, write comments below and let me know if you have any questions. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.